Hi guys, welcome to another video with me, Crazy Skin Dog, and this one was a very interesting one. It was a fun evening. It's a charity race where we're looking to raise some money for a charity called Absolutely Together. It was organised by Claire, the branch manager of Absolutely Karting in Bristol, and she put on this event for teams to enter. It was an endurance event, and it was the first to 100 laps of their 1,000-metre track layout. And yeah, it was £200 per team. You could have up to 5 drivers in your team, and yeah, I managed to get together 3 teams in total. We didn't quite have 15 people, didn't quite work out in the end, but we did have 3 teams, so that was great to put 3 different teams in. I teamed up with my mates Ash and Lee, and then guys that you probably know from the Castle Coombe and SRK videos, Marco Grady, George and Sam Nielsen. They were another team, and then I created an Uber team of Archie and Jacob, who are members at Absolute Karting, and then Ben, who I met up at Castle Coombe, and his buddy, and we were expecting those guys to plough away and win this comfortably, but there is a twist that I will tell you about in a moment. So the format of the race was we had a 5-minute practice / qualifying session, and the person that drove that session would drive the first stint of the race. It'd be a grid started race based off your times from that qualifying session, and yeah, and then the race itself would be continue until the top 3 teams had 100 laps. The first team to reach 100 laps would be the winner, but the twist I mentioned is that you could make a donation to the charity of £2, and that would remove 1 lap from any team of your choice. So the dream team blasting off a million miles an hour ahead of everybody else might not be so successful if people start putting their hands in their pockets and making donations, but it was great fun, and we'll jump straight into the action then. Okay, so I had a little bit of an issue with my kart in between the qualifying and the main session, but we qualified P3, and yeah, that was where we expected, to be honest, with the drivers from the session. There we go, the lights are on, and the last light, and the green, away we go, and we're going to dive up the inside, starting on the odd side of the grid. Just gives you a real advantage with that first hairpin, but then Matt's going to send it up the inside on the second hairpin. We're going to try and hang it around the outside, which we do. It's nice and wide there, and we get a good drive down the straight. He's still up our inside, but it's a nice wide apex into this corner, so we stick it round, and then we're on the inside for the right hand hairpin, and we're just going to send that. So we managed to stay ahead. You'll notice that Archie from pole has already disappeared, but we managed to get up into second and make a move on Matt. We'll see how long that lasts. Obviously there's a long old race ahead, so we don't want to be battling too much this early on, and as we go for the hairpin we see he's going to send it, and just there's no way back for us there. He leaves us loads of space, but just no way I can send it there, and he's up into second, pushed us back down to third, and we'll just knuckle down, try and follow him, and settle in for a nice long stint, I think. Having done the 5-minute practice, I was already pretty tired. It's a very physical track, and yeah, I was already starting to get tired 3 or 4 laps in, but yeah, just knuckled down, thought we'll get a nice decent stint in, see if we can't do 20 laps, something like that, and just get us nice and settled, and into the meat of the race. We hadn't really discussed how long we were going to be in the kart for between me, Lee and Ash. We just kind of said, see how you feel, and I was feeling dead, so I nearly called it after 5 laps, but no, I knuckled down and got on with it, and yeah, it was a relatively lonely session from this point, this first stint, as Matt was pulling away from me and I was relatively clear of the guys behind. So we'll jump on to some more interesting points of the stint. Okay, so we've jumped forward in the first stint here, and we've started to catch up to our first other driver. So team 5 here. Nobody's pitted at this point, I don't think. It's hard to keep track of when you're out there blasting around, but we're still relatively early in the race. Everybody's stuck with their starting drivers for now, and we catch right up to him, and then we're going to go for a switch back into turn 1, which then leads to the inside in turn 2, and we're up the inside, and that just lets us through. He gives us space, and that is our first overtake of the race performed. and yeah, started to get tired at this point. I'm thinking I should probably pit soon, but also haven't seen anybody else pit, so don't want to come in too early. But yeah, we'll jump through to a bit later in the stint now, because again, it's just the karts are spread out at this point. It's a 1,000-metre track and there's only 5 karts on the track, so there's a lot of open space to just get your head down and do your laps and see where you end up at the end. So here we are, we're coming towards the end of my stint now. We're about 20-25 minutes into a stint at this point, and starting to feel a bit tired. We can see we're starting to catch up to Mark ahead, yeah, just trying to make our way through as quickly as possible once we do catch up to him. We'll see how quickly we can catch on. I give the super secret signal there because I can see Mark's just ahead, and Mark's pretty fast, so I didn't want to get stuck. So I give a slap of the helmet there in order to let Ash and Lee know that I'm wanting to come in now. I'm feeling a bit tired. I've been catching up on Mark, but I'm not confident I can overtake him easily, so I don't want to spend too much time stuck behind him, because it's very hard to overtake here. And there's my return to pits, Mark, so I know that they've accepted my request to pit. And we see Mark's also catching up to somebody else here, and he's going to look to make a move. Is he? Yeah, he's inside, and we're going to follow Mark through, as that guy is just cautious around the outside there. We just dive through and follow Mark through that place and get on up the track. And now we're just following through this section. No real overtake opportunities and no real point because I'm coming into the pit. See as I peel off there, and yeah, stop, hop out the cart, and yeah, that's my stint done. And get out the pits and just rest now after 20 odd minutes in the thing. Go and check the scoreboard, see where I am. And, as we can see there, team 1 we're in 4th place, 22 laps recorded. So I think I actually did 25 or 26 laps, but some early donations removed some laps from us, so 22 of my laps counted in that first stint. So in between sessions here, me and Ash decided to sit up on the top deck and watch some views of the end of the straight here with the never-ending left-hand corner, and just see some guys blasting past, and yeah, have a little bit of a chat about how it's going, how we're finding it. I was feeling knackered by this point. This 1,000-metre layout really knackers me out. It's a really physical track. The karts are really physical to drive as well, so it really wears me out. So I was feeling pretty bad, but it was my turn in the kart next. Unfortunately, I hadn't kept my stuff very conveniently handy. I decided to try and capture this footage up on the top floor, thinking I had more time and that Lee would be out for longer. But I'd lost track of how long he'd been out in between chatting to people and grabbing a drink and stuff like that. And yeah, he's going to come down the straight here. There's the super secret signal, the wave, and I grab the camera and run because none of my stuff is ready. Okay, then here comes Lee down the ramp and into the pits for my second stint. I'm feeling knackered at this point, honestly. But yeah, I'm going to hop in the kart. Claire's taking a picture. I'm on the throttle and I'm going to nearly run over Claire. Sorry about that. Yeah, you see I come flying out the pits, and yeah, just straight into stint number 2. I'm going to try and get some decent laps under my belt. Just do a decent stint, nice and fast, and just get some more laps on the board, really. It's going alright so far. I think at this point we're still in 3rd. Depending on lap deductions, it was hard to keep track of with the deductions going through all the time. Your positions were jumping around all over the place, so all you could really do was get your head down, drive the car, and have a laugh and see what's going on. But I was relatively happy with the pace, relatively happy with how I was driving. The stint was a little bit painful though, a few mistakes creeping in, and just kind of tiredness and fatigue taking hold in this one, unfortunately. And yeah, Ben pitted, their team pitted just behind me, and Ben was jumping in the car, and I spent almost the entire of this stint just seeing him creeping closer and closer, because as you come around some corners you're looking directly at them, and you see him go around to my left there, and as I come around this right hand you can see him shoot across the screen there towards the hairpin, and yeah, he was just gradually creeping closer and closer, and I was just trying my best to not get caught by him too quickly. And there was a little bit more action in this stint, so we'll jump forward to some of that. Okay, so we'll see, I'm coming towards another kart here about the middle of the stint, and this is Sam. He's going quite slow up the ramp now and just goes really wide and smacks into the barrier, and yeah, that was a nice easy overtake, a little bit of a confusing one, but he actually ends up going back to the pits and discovering that he had something with the axle, or the wheel was broken, and the kart just wasn't working. Basically, one of the wheels was sticking in at a funny angle, and yeah, he couldn't drive very well. So as we come round here, we're going to end up with a red flag, and that's just because they needed to switch kart because they've realised that his kart is very broken. So yeah, a little bit of a wait whilst they sorted this, and yeah, we'll skip on to some more action again. Okay, so we got a couple of overtakes here from stint 2. Not much happened in this stint, so here we go. Those guys let us through. That was nice and easy. Yeah, I was tired in this stint, and not too much happened. And here we see we're catching up on. I'm pretty sure this is Sam on kart 11, and yeah, we're going to start making some progress up to him, and see if we can make an overtake. Sam knows what he's doing though. He's a good driver and knows how to defend, so we'll see if we can get a move done. It's a bit wide into the first hairpin, and yeah, we're going to try and gain down the straight here. We gain a little bit there. We look up the inside, but it's not open. We know he's going to turn in. There's no point in sending it there. We may as well wait for the hairpin at the bottom of the hill and see if we can handbrake him down there. No overtaking opportunities around this part of the lap, so you're better off just kind of maintaining the gap and then kind of slingshot from here. Just get your foot down here and try and send it. We're not going to send it, we're going to hit brakes, but we're going to lock up, and we do nudge Sam there. We stay behind, and he lets us through. Felt bad for that one because yeah, that was a mistake on my part, but we'll jump forward to the end of the stint now because not a lot happens in this one. So yeah, this is the end of stint 2. We're going to come down the ramp and peel off into the pits for the end of our second stint, and not sure if we'll get a third stint in at this point, but yeah, we're going to hop out, and there we go, get off and have a rest, a couple of drinks. Thumbs up for Sam there, and yeah, fist bump, and yeah, that was a tiring session. Okay then, so we weren't sure how the laps were going to go, but there was a third stint, so there was about 11 or 12 laps to go at this point as we hop in the kart ready for our third stint, and try not to kick or run over the marshal. And if you see Jacob's coming around full pelt, so we'll point him through here because we're not going to be able to race him anyway, and he's got speed on us at that point, so we're just going to settle in to this third stint. I was feeling good for this third stint after feeling really weak and tired for the second stint. Had a Lucozade and rested a little bit, and was feeling really good for this third stint. So yeah, about 12 laps to go on the board, but obviously don't forget those donations that can come in and remove laps, and as the event went on, the number of donations really started to ramp up once we got close to getting to 100 laps. And yeah, so we will jump ahead to the action points of this stint. Again, not too much because there is only 5 karts on a 1,000 metre track. Okay, so we can see again we're catching up to kart 11 Sam, and he's just going to point us through this time. Not going to race us too much, and we'll thank him for that. And that pretty much wraps up my third stint, to be honest. It was a pretty chill one. Was feeling good, lap times were coming in good, and I actually set my fastest lap of the night in this stint. I don't know where this second wind of energy came from, but I was feeling really vitalised for this stint. And as I say, we had about 12 laps to go when I got in, and I counted to about 15-16 laps in my head, and was wondering how long it was going to go. It kind of just kept going and going, to be honest, and eventually I just couldn't keep going anymore. I'd got to about 20-25 laps in my head, and I just couldn't do any more. So I gave Lee and Ash the signal, and came in and let Ash take the final stint and take us to the checkered flag, because there surely couldn't be too many laps left now. And this is it. I come on into the pits to end my race, and yeah, Ash is in for the final stint. We're going to make our way out the pits and yeah, check how we got on, how many laps we did. Shout out with Matt there, and just chatting about the race and how we'd got on. Run over to check the leaderboard, how many laps left. Team 1, we're on 93 laps, so about 4 of my laps counted. So that was the end of my stint, and here you can see the bar area where everybody's queuing up to donate to remove laps from other drivers. We've got the scoreboard there and everybody just planning who they're going to take laps away from. It was a great event. I had a fantastic time, and we'll jump into the podium ceremony now.
As it stands, in 3rd place we had Team 1.
There you go. Yeah. Thank you very much.
2nd place we had Team 7.
Get in the middle, Sam.
And in 1st place we had Team 11.
Oh, money bags. Money bags. Deepest pocket. Sick. Well done, guys. Thank you. Well done, Mike. Nice deep pockets.
Yeah. I'm in the key to Mount Palace. I'll go down. I'll go down on one. Go on,
Okay then guys, so here we have the results. So Team 1 was me, Lee and Ash. We came 3rd overall. Team 11 was Mark, George and Sam. They won overall, thanks to Mark's massive generosity. He made some huge donations to the charity, and basically removed a shed load of laps from all the other teams to put their team ahead and to win right at the end. Team 17 was the dream team. Unfortunately for them, they were public enemy number 1, and they made a lot of money for the charity, and they got to race a lot of laps, but they came 5th overall. So the deductions, my team 1, we had about 49 laps, if I remember correctly, removed from us. So we did just under 150 laps in total between the 3 of us, which is pretty crazy. It's a lot of laps to get through. Team 17, they had 70 laps deducted. So they did 152 laps in total, which is insanity. And not one of them looked tired after either. They drove many laps, and they probably could have done another 150 more. But everybody had a whale of a time. Nobody got grumpy with losing their laps or anything like that. It was fantastic. And overall we raised over £1,400 for the charity absolutely together, to go towards a twin kart. So that's an absolutely amazing achievement. A fantastic evening, loads of fun, and we raised a shed load of money towards a kart that's going to help young people and adults as well with physical or learning difficulties. That means that they can't fully enjoy karting on their own. They can hop in a kart, and the twin kart has pedals and steering on both sides, so they can be involved as much as they're able to be, but still enjoy blasting around the track at full speed. So that's really fantastic. To shout out to Claire for organising it, and everybody for attending. Had a whale of a time, raised a load of money, and yeah, that's going to end it for this one. So thank you very much for watching. I'll put the Absolutely Together donation link in the description below. If you do fancy donating anything towards their twin kart fund, that would be amazing. And just thank you very much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.